In case we have some people that don't show up, I am going to record this so that they can watch it later. We have a few things to go over, but it should just be like 15 minutes. Does that sound good to everybody?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So you guys this week are going to have two things to do. We have, hey Jordan, we have one author to talk about. Her name's Ann Tyler. And then we have a short essay that you guys are going to be writing for the Great Gatsby. Okay. I want to go over Ann Tyler first, just because it'll be pretty quick. You guys are going to be reading a short story called Average Waves in Unprotected Waters. It has nothing to do with water, just so you know, or the ocean or waves. But Ann Tyler is one of the last authors that we talk about. She was actually, trying to think, she was born in 1941 and she lived in Minnesota, but she started writing after she moved to Canada. And she lived there for a while and started a family and then moved back to the States. That's why she's still considered an American literature author. She lived in New York for a while and went to Columbia University. She went to and moved and lived in North Carolina for a while. And she wrote several novels and several short stories, but it wasn't until, I'm trying to look and see, it wasn't until the 1980s, I think it was 88, that she actually won a Nobel Prize. She was nominated several times for several of her works, but it wasn't until the 80s that she actually won one. Now, there's not a ton of like details that you have to know about her, but I do want to talk a little bit about the piece that you're reading this week, because some of you might, by the title, start reading and go like, what does this have to do with anything? It does deal with mental illness or disabilities. It deals mainly with the protagonist, the mother, and how she is dealing with a son that has disabilities. Now, in the story, and remember, in the era that she lived in, when you had a child that you could not handle because of their disabilities, you usually institutionalized that child when they became too much. So the story is actually about that process of how she drops her son off at an institution. And it's a little jarring, and it's kind of a little, I don't know how to put it. It's kind of one of those things that we don't deal with situations like that way anymore. We have so many different programs and support groups. And when, I don't know about you guys, but any family that I've known that has a child with disabilities, whether they're learning or whether they're physical, usually there are ways for that family to deal with, to live healthy and strong and successful lives with that child in their life. And that child is even healthy and successful. And so when you're reading it, I just wanted to go over that a little bit so that you're prepared mentally for what that looks like, because it is kind of one of those things when I first read it for the first time, I was like, why are they taking their child to an institution? And part of it is because she does describe how the nurse walks her through a tour of the institution, and how it doesn't resemble a home so much as it does more like an asylum, or a hospital. So just be prepared for that. After that, you're going to write a short essay, because you should be finished with The Great Gatsby. And your essay is going to be about how Gatsby represents the American dream. I have it in Toolbox for you to read over so that you know kind of what I'm looking for. But obviously, right now, with life being weird, it's not always easy to stay focused. So I thought, instead of having a vague, like, write an essay about the Great Gatsby, we're going to have it a little bit more focused. And when it comes to the American dream in the 1920s, some of the content that you can build would be based on what that looked like versus what the American dream looks like now. And how Gatsby would translate from living in the 1920s to living now. Because honestly, when you read the book and then you take that same concept and modernize it, to me, it really looks a whole lot like Celebrity when it comes to how You don't even have to be in a movie to be a celebrity now. You can just be somebody that spends a lot of money and has a reality TV show. So in my mind, that translation is kind of like Gatsby / Kardashian. Do you know what I'm saying? Does that make sense to everybody? You can take your own spin on that, compare that American dream in your own way, especially if that American dream is not necessarily celebrity, but more, you know, tailored to what you've experienced and what you believe for that American dream. But just want to give you a little bit of freedom, but not too much, because I know that right now, like I said, we just have a few weeks left of school. And right now I am dreaming of the quarantine being gone and us being able to go swimming at Nashville shores. I don't know about you, but that's like where my headspace is at. And I'm like scheduling days to grade papers and scheduling days to work out stuff. So I wanted to make sure that your short essay was a little focused this week. I also want to touch on the end of the year project that you guys should be thinking about and maybe working on. It is titled The Great Gatsby End of Semester Project in Assignments. And just so you know, there are options for group projects in case you guys are itching for social contact and maybe doing a video like this, or texting back and forth, or setting up some sort of hangout on Google. But there are group options and there are also individual options. So I don't mind if you have 2 people working together or 3 in the group category, but just know that you can work to, one of the options is publish a short little magazine. Another option is to do it sort of video where you recreate a scene from the novel. Now, I know that because of social distancing, some of you might be like, we can't do that. But you could work together and script out some of the monologue moments. Or I know that it would be funny for a girl to do it, but you could recreate some of the moments Nick has where he's watching people. And some of those moments where he's thinking things about people when he sees like Jordan cheating while she's playing golf, that kind of stuff. Now, some of the individual options, you guys can do a couple of different things. I did try and focus on some creative stuff. So some of it is drawing a picture of the Allied man in the advertisement that's over the road that they pass every time they drive in and out of town. You can create or draw a timeline. You can draw a portrait of any of the main characters. But then you can also create a soundtrack to the novel if you want. And again, all of these details are in Toolbox, but I'm trying to go over this again so you know that this is coming up, because we have 3 weeks until the end of school. Now, the last option is to write a 4-page paper. Now, I want this to be really, really clear. If you chose this option, you totally can. I want you to understand that you can use some of the content that you write in this short essay this week, but not all of it. Okay, you can't just like copy and paste the whole paper and then add another page or 2 to it. Just know that if you do make that choose that option, I just want to be clear. You cannot copy and paste the same content, but you can use the same ideas and use some of the work. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. That's actually going to be accepted until April 27th. I have it due the 20th, but just know that I'll take the project on the last day of class. Like, you can email it in that day too. And then want to be real clear. How many of you like a Zoom option for class? How many of you like to be able to watch whenever you want on YouTube? Okay. I love seeing your faces, and it's so fun to catch up with everyone, which we'll get to that part in just a minute. But I wanted to get all the boring stuff out of the way first. The idea is that I will do this type of video and record it on YouTube the next few weeks. And then on our last day of class, we'll do a Zoom together. And then that way everyone feels like they can watch the video when they need to or when they can. Is that your dog snoring, Garrett?
Yeah.
That's awesome. My dog snores too. But the idea is that I personally know that trying to record these is hard, but I can make it happen when, like, my husband's having a meeting downstairs right now on Zoom, and my son is watching YouTube videos on the couch. But it's one of those, like, I get it. You guys have families and everybody's doing stuff too. So I don't want you to feel like you have to be on here at 11 o'clock every week on Monday. So we'll do it on the last day of class, but the next 2 weeks I'll do videos on YouTube, and want to make it very clear. You guys can text, email, we can schedule one of these Zooms if you need help with anything, whether it's your essay, whether it's catching up on work, whatever you need, just let me know, and we'll make it work. But I know that everybody has weird schedules, and you also have siblings you're probably competing with, and dogs. Because I mean, I see Ace over there taking a nap, and I'm thinking, when's my nap time? Do you guys have any questions? Yeah. Yes. Oh, Landon, your puppy's cute too. Any questions at all?
Miss Callie,
Yes.
I want to get your number because I don't know how to work this email stuff.
Oh, listen, I don't mind at all. Someone asked me in my last class if they could email, and I was like, girlfriend, just, yeah, email or text is fine.
Well, because I got your number from Josie, but it wouldn't let me text you, so I don't know.
Do you have the right number? Josie has the right number. She's texted me her assignments.
It wouldn't let me text, so I was like, no.
Okay. Try again, and I don't know. Let me know. Or what is your phone number? That's weird. Why am I asking Garrett for his phone number? Let's see. How do we do this? Okay, Garrett, what is your phone number?
615.
Okay.
970.
970.
8904.
8904.
Yep.
Sorry, everybody. I'm texting Garrett. So, did you get that?
Yeah, I got it.
Awesome. Okay, so now you've got it, and you can text me your work. Just snap a picture. Let me know that you did it. If you're, like, for instance, next week when you're writing a paper, you can copy and paste that paper into an email if you want to. You can type it out and then take a picture of it or a screenshot of it, however you want to do that. But just, I know that as sporadic as I'm getting homework, I'm trying to sporadically grade things, just so you know. And to fill everyone in on that front, I just realized earlier this week that your grades for the test you took did not automatically go to Gradebook. So I'm going to have to manually put those in, and it'll probably be Wednesday, like later Wednesday afternoon, that I get that done, just so you know. But I will put those in there. But everything else I'm pretty much caught up on until I think Thursday this week. Some people started emailing in their homework. I haven't entered in any of this week's homework. So I'll be doing that probably Wednesday afternoon too. I've been painting my house, so it's been kind of.
Look how my dog is lying.
Your dog might need help.
He's just laying down.
That's exciting. Okay, I'm going to end the recording, and now I'm going to catch up with everybody, because it's going to be everybody show us your dogs in a minute. Okay.